been so loud that people jump right into the conversation, which is fantastic, that I couldn't even get their attention, and we love that. This is a sense of community, and I see so many faces that have been here since day one, and I see a lot of new faces, so welcome to everyone. Death Cafe Millerton, this is our 5th meeting. This is the 4th time at the Irving Coffee House. We want to thank Sarah and Kathy for letting us have it at this wonderful establishment. They literally give us this place to have it, so thank you very much to everyone for doing that. Thank you. So the Death Cafe, how many people have actually gone on the website and looked at the website itself and know a little bit about what it is? Okay. Wow, Death Cafe. Most times people say, the what? What are you doing? A death what? And they're kind of taken back a minute. And then when you explain to them how it started, they kind of say to themselves, okay, I get it. So I'm going to explain that to all of you. It started by a man named Bernard Cortaz. He was a Swiss sociologist. And he said to himself, he was an older gentleman, this is, I believe, in 2009, he said, you know, we don't talk about death. He said, how can I get people to talk about death? He goes, I know. He goes, let's have it in these funky kind of cafes where we have intellectual conversations, but let's say that we need to eat cake and drink coffee at the same time. So what his psychology behind that was, talking about end of life here, nourishing here with something delicious. It kind of evens out and made it happen. Now, what happened with him is that he moved it to Paris. He had one in Switzerland, he had one in Paris, and I think they were relatively small, and he was quite old. So he didn't get to keep them going. However, a man named John Underwood read an article in The Independent, and he read about this concept by Bernard Cortaz, and he said, this is perfect. And he's 40 years old. He works in, I believe he has something to do with funerals, but he doesn't really talk about that as much as he talks about this Death Cafe concept. So he said, he lives in London. He said, I'm going to take this concept, and I'm going to have a Death Cafe. And how many people do you think showed up? It was in his house, 6. Well, okay, including him or not including him. So there were 6 people, and it really didn't catch on. But then they had some kind of weekend event, and they were asked to have this Death Cafe at this big weekend workshop, and all of a sudden, boom, it caught on in Europe, and then somebody took it and brought it to Ohio, and all of a sudden, what happens? Well, the New York Times gets a hold of it, writes an article, plants it on the front page, and they start popping up all over, which is really wonderful. Because for many of us, and there are several people here in this room that work in healthcare, we have realized that we've gotten so far removed from end of life, so far removed from the issue about death, that it's making things 1,000 times more difficult for our loved ones and for us. And there's something else that goes along with this, is that no matter who you are, what religion, what color, what belief system, we all have something in common, is that we're all going to experience the end of our lives, and we're going to experience the end of our loved ones' lives. And if we can help each other through that passage, and support each other and make it easier in any way, shape, or form. And guess what? 90% of having it be a better ending is by talking about it. The fact that it was closeted and that we don't just opens up a whole bunch of worms at the end, which we don't want to have happen. Now, there are a couple of guidelines for having a Death Cafe. They're relatively simple, but we respect the philosophy behind it. So number 1, everyone's opinion counts. Everyone's opinion is respected. We're not here to tell you that you should believe in this, or you should believe in that, or you're wrong, or you're right. Not at all. We want to hear your opinions, and we want to support you in that. Number 2, you need to eat some cake, and drink tea, and have coffee. And it's just really a fun environment. And we don't have anything for profit. This is donated, and it's just a wonderful experience. Okay, so how we run these meetings is that we have usually a topic head. We have the question that we ask, and then we start in small tables, you talk amongst yourselves, and then we open it up to the big group. The first thing I would like to do is introduce my co-hosts, and we have Lynn here, and Joy is over there, raised, and these are the 2 women that actually made this all happen. Now, this is your meeting, so what I'd like to do is go around the room, and if you could introduce yourself yourself. We do have name tags. If you could say where you're from and what brought you here and anything else that you would like to share, that would be really fantastic. Can we start over here?